Hello! In this video, I'll show you how you can create a video explanation using Notebooklm. As an example, I made one about finding an apartment or condominium in Chiang Mai, Thailand. Now, let's take a look at the creation process. First, let's add a source. You can easily import PDFs, videos, and web pages. The process is very simple. This time, I'll choose YouTube as the source. Click the button to proceed. Enter the URL of the YouTube video you want to add and click Insert. That's all it takes to import it into Notebooklm. Once you add a source, Notebooklm automatically creates an easy-to-understand explanation video for you. Click the Video Explanation button in the upper right corner of the screen. Then, Notebooklm will automatically create an explanation video for you. It only takes 2 simple steps. Add your source and click the Video Explanation button. And just like that, your video explanation is ready. You can choose the generated video from the list and play it anytime. Finally, just click the play button and you can immediately watch the explanation video created by Notebooklm. Now, let's watch the explanation video made by Notebooklm.
So, you're thinking about a long-term stay in Chiang Mai. It's an incredible city, but, figuring out where to live can feel like a huge task. In this explainer, we're going to cut right through all that noise and give you a simple, step-by-step guide to finding your perfect rental.
Probably the single best thing about renting here is that most places come fully furnished. And I don't just mean a bed and a table, I mean everything is ready to go. You can literally just land, drop off your suitcase, and boom, your new life starts right then and there.
So what's the big deal anyway? Why are so many people choosing to rent long-term in Chiang Mai? Well, let's break down exactly what makes it so appealing.
Okay, for starters, the number of options is just massive. We're talking thousands of condos and apartments. And like we said, furnished is the norm, not some special feature you have to pay extra for. Plus, your money just goes so much further here than it does in Bangkok. And here's the real pro tip for saving some cash. If you can, commit to a longer lease. Signing for 6 months or a year will almost always get you a much better deal on the monthly rent.
Now, before you even think about opening a rental website, we have to talk about the single most important decision you're going to make in this whole process: picking your neighborhood. Seriously, this choice is going to shape your daily life, who you hang out with, what you eat, pretty much everything.
So let's kind of get our bearings and take a look at the main areas inside the city. Each one has a totally different personality, and figuring out which one matches your lifestyle is the key to being happy here.
This table really lays it all out. Are you looking for that quiet, historic vibe with beautiful temples right outside your door? Then the old city is your spot, and it's surprisingly affordable. Or maybe you want a super trendy, high-energy scene with the best coffee shops and boutiques? Well, that's Notebooklm for you, but you'll definitely pay a bit more to live there. For a real local feel that's easy on the wallet, you should check out Santa Fe. And if you're all about convenience with huge malls and markets just a quick walk away, then you'll want to look around Chiang Mai or near the Central Festival Mall.
All right, so you've got your ideal neighborhood picked out. Now for the fun part. Let's get into the nitty-gritty of how you actually find your new place.
You've basically got 2 ways to go about this.
The first is to start your search online from anywhere in the world. Websites like Perfect Homes and Property Scout are fantastic for this. The other way is what I like to call the boots on the ground method. Just book a hotel or Airbnb for a week and literally walk around the neighborhoods you like. You'd be amazed at what you can find just by looking for rent sign.
Now, if you do go the online route, the process is incredibly smooth. You just browse the listings, message an agent right on the site's chat, and then you'll usually switch over to the Line app to communicate. It's super common to be setting up viewings for the very next day, and if you find a place you love, you can often get the whole thing done really fast.
Success! You found the perfect apartment. So what's the last hurdle to get those keys in your hand? Let's talk about the contract and the paperwork.
This is the part where people usually start to get a little nervous, right? Worrying about all this complicated paperwork, background checks, but I've got some really good news for you.
And here it is. This is the big secret. In almost every single case, the only thing you actually need to rent an apartment is a copy of your passport. That's it. No credit checks, no letters of employment, no bank statements, just your passport. It's amazing.
So when you go to sign the contract, here's your simple little checklist. You'll need a copy of your passport's main photo page and a copy of the page with your latest entry stamp. Also, have your security deposit ready to go. It's pretty much always 2 months worth of rent. And while it's not always required, having a Thai bank account already set up will make paying your rent each month so much easier.
Okay, the rent is all set, but what about the other bills? And what are some of the common rules you really need to be aware of? Let's dive into the fine print.
Let's talk utilities, because those are separate from your rent. Your biggest extra cost is going to be electricity, and that's almost all about how much you use your air conditioner. Expected to be somewhere between 800 and 1,500 baht a month. Next up is water, which is just refreshingly cheap. You're typically looking at around 200 baht a month, maybe even less. It's one of those small bills that'll just make you smile.
And finally, you'll usually set up your own internet. For really fast and reliable fiber optic from a company like AIS or True, you should budget about 700 baht per month.
Okay, now for 2 super important rules to remember. First, most modern condos are really strict about a few things. No smoking, no pets, and no marijuana. Second, and this one is critical, your lease does not automatically renew. You can't just assume you can keep living there. You have to tell your landlord you want to stay, usually about a month before your contract is up, or you might find yourself having to move out unexpectedly. All right, listen up, because this next point is one of the most important things for any foreigner in Thailand to understand. It's called the TM30. This is a form that your landlord is legally required to file with immigration within 24 hours of you moving in. Now, why should you care? Because if they don't file it, your visa extension will be rejected, flat out. It's their responsibility, sure, but it becomes your problem if it's not done. So always check with them to make sure it's been filed.
And finally, let's just bust a few common myths and answer some of the big questions that foreigners always seem to have about renting in Thailand.
Let's just clear this up right now. Can a foreigner legally rent a place in their own name? Yes, 100%. You do not need a Thai person to co-sign or anything like that. The contract is totally valid and legally binding with just your name and your signature on it.
And here are 3 more fantastic bits of good news. First, you don't pay the real estate agent's fee. The owner of the property pays it. Second, like we talked about, things like credit checks or letters from your job are almost never required. And finally, tons of the real estate agencies have English-speaking agents who will happily walk you through the entire process from start to finish. So there you have it. The whole process is way more straightforward than you probably thought. And that amazing life in Chiang Mai is totally within reach. The only real question left to answer is, where are you going to begin?
Thank you for watching. With Notebooklm, you can easily create video explanations. Just add a source and click a button. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe to the channel and give it a thumbs up.